Hey everybody, I wish today's video could be lighter, but it's been a very inhumane couple of days. So as most of you already know, Charlie Kirk died yesterday at an open debate event in Utah. He was assassinated. To those unaware of Charlie Kirk, he was a prominent conservative voice, especially popular and impactful with the youth of America, and honestly even worldwide. I watched videos of his sometimes, they were very popular and successful even here. His movement, Turning Point USA, also branched out to other countries like Turning Point UK, which, if you've been following any news at all recently coming from over there, you would know just how badly they need it when you've got people being arrested for just about anything these days, like calling a policeman a Muppet. Like, that's not even an insult. Someone calls me a Muppet in 2025, I'll literally invite them over for dinner and a movie. That's about as offensive as that is. This isn't usually something I would make a video on. It's a topic and genre that steps outside of my wheelhouse here with gaming and entertainment, especially with a recent decision of mine of trying to gear the content on this channel a little bit more towards escapism and fun, even though I will always still bring up important topics, but just in a different light so that it's not doom and gloom. But what I've seen online has just been straight up inhumane, beyond disgusting, and a little bit ahead in this video, it even ties into the games industry and developers joining in on hundreds of thousands of people coming out in droves and celebrating the death of this 31-year-old man executed in front of his wife and children. Celebrating it. Condoning it, approving of it, and some even saying that they would have done it themselves. Hell, others are even making lists of who should be next. Again, guys, just inhumane, monstrous behavior that I cannot even fathom how the fuck we got here. But here we are regardless. At the end of the day, even I had my own disagreements with Charlie Kirk's takes. You know, he was much further on the conservative side than I consider myself to be. Not that I really think about that kind of thing too much, but there were things that I would just be listening along to his videos while cooking or whatever, and I just disagreed. But despite that, Charlie was just a dude, a nice guy, a family man who, above all else, believed that we should be able to talk to each other. We should be able to disagree with one another and battle it out ideologically with our words, not our fists or our guns. He believed that for as long as we can talk to one another about issues, no matter how heated it is, no matter how many things we end the conversation agreeing or disagreeing with, we would at least retain our civility and stay away from violence, which is what any self-respecting Western civilization should strive for, and they blew his neck out for it. I see many media outlets, even international ones, calling him far right, far right, far right, but there was jack shit that was far right about him. He went to university, for fuck's sake. His events were open. Anyone could step up to the microphone and speak to him about any issue, and so long as he were respectful, he'd be respectful back. And hell, sometimes he was even respectful to people who popped up shouting at him and calling him all manner of retardisms that they heard online. You could stand up there, even if you wanted to, and insult him to his face, and you would not be taken, and he wouldn't send you to a camp, he wouldn't get you arrested, he wouldn't do shit to you. He'd just mock you and post your goddamn footage online, that's it. And the people who, I can't even fucking speak English today. The people who push these narratives forward, the media outlets that call everybody far right, they are responsible directly for what happened here and for what's been happening for the past couple of years, where everyone is just crazy. Everyone is just justifying ridiculous levels of violence against people who have milquetoast opposing opinions. Often over takes that were just common sense things, or things that, while being a little bit more intense, for lack of a better word, still did not advocate for violence or hatred of any such thing that would elicit such a visceral reaction from people. Anyone could talk to him. That's not the face of fascism. The face of fascism is silencing people and ideas. And that is the crux of the thing. In his world, you laid out your ideas and your opposition laid out their ideas, and you debated them, letting the best arguments win and leading people's ideas to being strengthened by being put to the test at a ground level. But now, who the fuck knows where all this is going? I'm not even going to get into the ramifications of what just happened. That is already well beyond my thing here with my channel. All I'll say is that it's bad, man. Nothing good is going to come of this. This was monstrous, and at a societal level, it shows a great deal of decay. A line has been crossed that won't be able to be walked back, and we're going to need a miracle to see stability endure rather than further escalation. I don't know what fucking fantasy these people had on their minds when they did this, and the ones celebrating it as well, where they think that something really great just happened. Are you fucking retarded? Dancing on TikTok and shit like something great just happened, like they're gonna be able to keep dancing on TikTok going forward, as if what just happened isn't an insane level of fucking societal decay that gets them closer and closer to civil war. I swear, these people have nothing in their brains. It's empty up there. You could hold a fucking concert, get great fucking acoustics up there, but no thoughts whatsoever. No self-awareness, no awareness of their surroundings, no awareness of the political climate, no awareness of what they're normalizing, no awareness of anything. Zero. And as it pertains to games and entertainment, we've got an assorted display of inhumane posts mocking what just happened and celebrating it as well, even from game developers working on very prominent studios such as the Coalition, which is the studio behind Gears of War, Sucker Punch, the studio behind Ghost of Yotei, and Bungie, the studio behind Destiny and the upcoming Marathon, among so many others which people like Madame Savvy and other creators online are cataloging. These are studios that have spent the last few years virtue signaling to us about kindness, tolerance, inclusion, openness, social responsibility, etc., either directly through their games and the content in them or their parent company's mission statements, and that only made it more disgusting to see this play out. Even infuriating in another sense, because take Ghost of Yotei as an example. Ever since pointing out that incredibly suspicious decision of casting a radical left-wing activist for the main character as a potential sign that the studio may be compromised and making activist garbage instead of an actual video game that is deserving of the Ghost of Tsushima name, because we're not even talking about like an actress who's just gay or whatever, like that's never been an issue. We were, however, talking about an actress who goes out pushing for the eradication of the police, for example, as if that's something that makes total sense and would definitely not cause entire cities to fall into chaos. Like, that's totally not a radical and extreme opinion at all. And so when pointing out just that, back then when videos came out about it, just pointing out that as a reason to be cautious of a game that may or may not be heavily politically charged, people would pop into comment sections like, oh my god, it's just an actor, who cares? These are ridiculous assumptions, it's just an actor. Maybe she just got hired because she was the best for the job. Like, yeah, sure. Anyway, yeah, that didn't really age very well, did it? Because not only did we have more than one developer engaging in this disgusting, inhumane bullshit, but we also got the studio doing nothing about it. Not a single statement issued to the public, no firings, no nothing. And the thing is that when you're so driven by optics, like it is here in the Western games industry, when you are so driven to have your games be more than just games, to have your games geared towards doing significant social impact, to challenge things that you find problematic in society, and push messaging and imagery that suits your narrative, that suits the utopia of sorts that you want the world around us to reflect, and then you do this? Or you see your own game developers, people who represent you, doing that shit, and you don't even make a statement disavowing it? Like, I'm not even saying firing these goddamn people, which is honestly what you should do if you actually want to pass along the image that you're a socially conscious company and you truly don't condone political violence like this. It's just, it's disgusting, man. It sends a statement of its own. If you say nothing, if you do nothing, that's action. It tells everyone that you approve of that rhetoric, that in this reality of yours, where your company is socially conscious and upholds your vision, strives for social impact, etc., etc., in this reality, that is an acceptable act and a positive message for you. This is the world that you created. This is the environment that you groomed us into. You understand? These are the rules that you forced us all to play with. You don't get to spend years catering to this cancel culture bullshit that we had to endure, where someone could wake up one day and get fired because of a fucking thing that they said in their high school quote 30 fucking years ago, and now you tell us that none of this matters and each developer is an individual and their statements don't reflect the company and that's it. Hell, they didn't even say that the statement that doesn't reflect the company, that's the fucking worst part. Like, we are at a point where this shit doesn't even have anything to do with left versus right. It has to do with what you are putting out onto the world. And if more people knew what they just did, and all the context of why it actually matters, what it actually means, the inner workings of their ideology, their statements on their websites, etc., they would be disgusted and turned away from supporting some punk bitch company that thinks celebrating societal decay and the murder of a father is #cool. And that is just so ridiculous, man. Like, it's such a massive L. Like, how can you not see how divisive and exclusionary this is? Not divisive and exclusionary between left and right, again, that's not it at all. Divisive and exclusionary between normal people and unhinged extremists. Sadly though, a lot of people just don't know. Awareness of these kinds of things and how truly extensive they are is better than it was 2 years ago, but it's still far too small. Which is honestly both good and bad at the same time. I mean, obviously, the more people knew about this, the more they would be radicalized by knowing how the sausage gets made, you know, for lack of a better term. In the case of Bungie, for example, who also had a developer who approved this message, you have Marathon, and in Marathon there won't be any proximity voice chat, because in their words, they want the game to be a safe space, and so instead of a mute button for players to make use of in case they hear things that they don't want to, Bungie opted to take away a vital feature of shooters like this, all because of this mentality. This is how sensitive these people are supposed to be. This is how protective of players they want to LARP as. So protective and socially aware of how terrible gamers can be to each other over voice chat in a fucking video game, but at the same time, they have activists working in their studios who condone, mock, belittle, and celebrate what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday. And that is just insane, man. There has always been a double standard on full display in this industry. Always. Just always. It's been undeniably there and quite literally so prominent and consistently recurring that it generated content for YouTube channels to cover for years now. So it's not that this is new, of course it isn't, but it has never been as disgusting, disingenuous, corrupted, inhumane, and expository than it is right now with this. This was a new low that I didn't even know the industry could reach. Just now while recording this, I saw that DC Comics cancelled a Red Hood comic series after the creator got exposed for disgusting comments she made as well. We need to see the same thing in the games industry. Oh, I know you can't cancel a multi-year and multi-$100 million project. I'm not expecting that to happen. That's one of those things where it's an impossibility, you're asking too much. But at the very least, a damn statement disavowing what the fuck just happened and firing the people responsible should happen. If they have any goddamn self-awareness and respect left in that company, that's what they're going to do. That's what they should have done already. When I woke up today and I saw that that hadn't happened, I felt sick. I looked and looked and looked. I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe, no, there's no way that they just allowed this to be out there and said nothing about it. But that's exactly what they did. And if they don't correct it, then they have made it very clear where they stand, and I can't in any way support their shit anymore, not even for fucking review purposes. Like, this is vile, dude. This is psychopathy. I'm legitimately disgusted, and this isn't even a thing for me. Every game I've ever criticized, I did so because, well, it was criticism. I was just expressing my own opinions, but never telling people to boycott anything. Like, you wanna play it, just don't piss on my cereal and call it Golden Flakes by telling me that it's the best game ever. Like, of course I'm going to rebuke that, but that's it. I don't have any kind of agenda against the game. But this? These companies tout social impact. They love virtue signaling about how socially aware they are and how they have these progressive values that they live by and push in their games. Values that they embody, that they will never let go of, no matter what. No matter if a game can flop and flop and flop, they don't care. They're not going to give away these core principles of theirs. And when they can't directly push them in the video games, they put out disclaimers disavowing fictional representations or actions that they do not condone, but that are there, you know, just because they're fictional, you know, they're part of the story in some kind of way. And yet today, they're celebrating actual murder. Not in Minecraft, not in fiction, but in real life. If they don't make this right, this is their values. These are their beliefs. These are the things that they choose to stand for. And and people in these companies, like their higher-ups, etc., either make a stand against it, or what they're truly promoting here is a continuous and collective downfall into more radicalization and extremism in the future. I don't want that. I don't think anyone of sound mind does. Hell, I don't even think these morons, these retards celebrating it, want it either. Not truly, they think they do because they gas themselves up online, but no, not really. Not when reality hits. This is a nightmare scenario, and so with that, to close off here, I just urge you guys to take care of yourselves, step away from social media if this shit has your blood boiling, don't give in to hate. This doesn't mean you can't speak out, doesn't mean you can't show support to his family and condemn the inhumanity on display. You can do that, and you should do that. Now more than ever, we need to stand against evil. This is what this is. It's pure evil. It doesn't have a fucking political side. I mean, obviously it does right now. We know who the fuck is causing this, right? But what I'm trying to say is that it should transcend that. People on the left should be looking at this and feeling disgusted that it happened and holding them accountable for it. And I'm thankful that some of them are doing that. I've seen some of them, they're doing it, and I'm thankful that at least some people still have a head on their shoulders. Because it's not good for anyone. It's just evil. That's what it is. It needs to be rooted out, it needs to be exposed, it needs to be denormalized. Evil is literally fucking normalized right now. I don't know how we got here. Actual evil, not meme evil, right? You got a guy going, I think illegal immigration is bad, and it's like, oh, you're evil. What? Because of a law that the entire fucking planet exercises? We're talking about real evil here. Real decay. Just don't become the monsters that these people are. Expose them instead, say receipts, hold them accountable, but keep it civil. That's what Charlie and anyone who is sensible and civilized would have wanted. Anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. Hopefully we'll be back to our regularly scheduled shit posting sooner than later, but definitely not today. Sorry that I didn't go sleuthing, gathering more names and putting them on blast and all that. I just really wanted to vent and raise awareness to this aspect of things in these studios. Far better creators than me are going to be doing a far better job at exposing these nut jobs. And as for me, I'll see you guys on the next one. Again, take care of yourselves.